So this sucks. Trump is canceling crucial economic reports, most likely to hide his failures. And yeah, that sucks. So the BLS is going to cancel the release of their estimate on the gross domestic product for quarter 3, 2025. Trump administration has done this before, and it wasn't even 2 weeks ago. They had the Labor Department call off the jobs report, and then the BLS also scrapped its inflation report. I think the last time we did this was like 2009, if I'm not mistaken, which is great year. This is awful. Like, why are we canceling these things? And you know, they've done this before, where they cancel stuff and say, it's just the Democrats, and they're doing it again. Like, we're stupid. In the most recent press secretary meeting, Caroline Leavitt blamed the Democrats, saying they've damaged the tracking. And worst case, this is more steps into the fascistic territory that we're worried, where you had these regimes like Stalin who were like, we're just not going to talk about these numbers. You had the Great Leap Forward where they're like, we're just not going to talk about these numbers because it looks like shit. Obviously, different times, they didn't have the same tracking or the internet, right? So it's a lot harder to say it was one for one. But there's this typical trend of these really insecure leaders who can't address the failures in the room and think if you just sweep it under the rug, you'll be okay. Look, their approach is disgusting. They're going to blame the shutdown, which you can obviously pull back and say, hey, this is the Republicans' fault. They're obviously going to blame the tracking system itself, which has been used by every administration, and they're going to blame Democrats. And again, you pull back and go, everybody's used this except for y'all. You guys are the outliers. That seems more like you're the common denominator issue here, right? Like, you're the person who's blaming everyone every single time. When do we say it's most likely their fault? And look, through their tariffs, through mass deportation, we see that maybe his policies just aren't as popular or as effective as he thinks they are. And instead of addressing it, which he never will, I mean, the dude was pushing the false election scheme even during his primary in 2015. The guy has never admitted defeat. And it's usually because he doesn't want to address the actual data. Like, it's not crazy to think that his administration is failing on like tourism because of the approach with his deportations. Like, people feel a lot less excited or safe to come to the US because they might be held by Border Patrol. That's not a controversial statement, but people want to have their cake and eat it too. They live in a world where they'll say, no, tourism is great, but at the same time, Trump is really effective with his Border Patrol. Like, you can't have both. You can't have a really strict immigration system where anybody anywhere has to be and ready to show their papers, and at the same time we have record-breaking tourism like crazy. Like, but they will say that to you. Them, their party, their people, they will say that to you, and you just can't. We don't live in that world. If you want to say the immigration stuff is great, and I love that we're pushing for it, and yeah, tourism is being affected a little, that's just realistic. We kind of expected that. It'll bounce back once we get all these illegals out here. Like, that would be a healthy approach, a normal discussion. Obviously, I disagree with it, but they're trying to tell you the jobs are great, and also the tariffs are great, and then also the inflation is so much better, but we don't need the numbers. But also too, the stuff that would potentially affect these numbers don't really affect the numbers. Like, we're talking to people who don't give a shit. They don't like you, they don't respect you, and they're sitting here telling you all of this stuff, and they can't back it. Like, this is how we address the elephant in the fucking room, and we just can't. I don't know how you hold that with anything but fear. Like, this, at the very worst, it's authoritarian. They're shitting their pants and they're trying to hide the numbers. And on the best scenario, they're just stupid and they think if they hide it, they will get, they'll get some boost in their polls. But either way, it sucks.